Dwayne Bradley arrives in New York City with nothing but a backpack and a charming wicker basket. Taking cozy room number 7 at the seedy Hotel Broslin for a few days, Dwayne searches for the doctor who separated him from his brother during childhood. The same little brother who is doomed to be confined to the wicker basket.
We're here.
Basket Case. The debut low-budget film from Frank Henenlotter is the bloody story of revenge by Dwayne Bradley and his deformed brother Belial. In New York, Dwayne, played by Kevin Van Hentenryck, begins to track down the doctors responsible for the uncoupling surgery in one way or another. At Dr. Needleman's office, he makes a date with Sharon, the very frisky secretary. Dr. Needleman calls Dr. Judith Cutter, played by Diane Brown, who kind of reminds me of a low-budget Sigourney Weaver. Needleman interrupts Cutter's dinner date to tell her that during Dwayne Bradley's visit, he was informed that one Dr. Lifflander was cut in half.
Calm down now, Harold, and pay attention. Ready? Neither of us know any Dr. Lifflander, and neither of us have ever been in Glens Falls, but one of us wants to get back to her dinner. Good night. Sorry about that, Cuddles. Now, where were we?
Meanwhile, Dwayne lets Belial out of his wicker basket to play.
Don't forget the address book.
Much to Dwayne's delight, his gruesome, vicious brother retrieves Cutter's address. Ready for his next date with Sharon, Dwayne feeds Belial packages of hot dogs and gets him a TV so he can stay entertained while Dwayne goes out. Telepathically sensing the swelling romance between Dwayne and Sharon, Belial explodes into a jealous rage. I think I lived in the apartment underneath that little fucker a few years ago. In the aftermath of the room Belial trashed, one of the Hotel Broslin's scummy residents tries to steal Dwayne's bundle of cash, and according to the director, this was what was left of the film's actual budget at this point. Belial attacks the thief, and sensing his brother's violent confrontation, Dwayne rushes from his date to the Hotel Broslin, where a detective questions him about the noise coming from his room.
What's in the basket?
Having taken advantage of the old ninjutsu art of hiding in the toilet, Belial evades the police and communicates some telepathic brotherly love with Dwayne.
Of course you're right. They deserve what they get. All I'm saying is it's been your idea every step of the way. But I've helped you, haven't I? Never desert you, not after all we've been through. You know that. We'll always be together.
While getting drunk at a bar, Dwayne and his prostitute neighbor Casey, played by actress and comedian Beverly Bonner, get to know each other.
What's in the basket?
My brother.
Your brother! Somebody's shrinking?
No, he's deformed. A freak. He looks like a squashed octopus.
In one sequence, we do get to experience a nice long flashback to Dwayne and Belial's childhood and the operation that ripped them apart, with Belial discarded like a sack of garbage. Recovered by Dwayne, Belial begins his bloodthirsty pursuit of revenge with the murder of the hateful father who had him severed from his brother and thrown away. Back in the present, Belial seems to have a need to sow his wild oats, at one point attempting to sneak in some sack time with Casey. And not only does Belial disrupt Dwayne's increasingly intimate relationship with Sharon, but, there's that. Okay, anyways, Basket Case is a cult classic, as ridiculous as it is bloody. Although it seems a bit slow, maybe even dull at times, the strange, schlocky interactions between Dwayne and Belial are kind of fascinating, and there are quite a few entertaining kills. With that amusing slasher film kind of ingenuity, it's all worth a few chuckles. If you're into all kinds of cult or horror films and have heard of Basket Case but never seen it, You gotta check it out. It isn't a great film, but you can see why it did earn its place as a bizarre classic. You get low-budget gore effects, some laughable acting, some bad acting, some hilarious and outrageous stuff with Belial that you can't unsee, and a nice couple of boobies. For those who aren't sure, I will concede it's not for everybody. It's cheap, there's a guy running around New York naked, you do have just a little monster rape, and I feel like I wish there was more to the climax of the movie. I think its place in history and its uniqueness go a long ways in recommending Basket Case. I have some reservations here on the rating. Like Dwayne and Belial, I am kind of split here. I will try to remember how much fun it was to see this movie for the first time though, and give Basket Case 3 out of 5 wicker baskets.